Female lions may be way better than the males at hunting, but when a real fight breaks out, they can't last more than a minute against most herbivores, which is exactly what we're about to see today. When this lioness went after a baboon it had spotted nearby, it did not expect the baboon to fight back at all, let alone turn the tables on it and start chasing after the big cat. As soon as the lioness started running towards the baboon, the fearless creature began moving towards it, showing it that it wasn't afraid and was willing to fight back right from the start. The lioness quickly turned around and started moving the other way, but the baboon kept chasing after it. The terrifying feline had to hide behind a big tree to get away from the aggressive primate, but that wasn't enough to stop the baboon either. Facing a vicious attack from two hungry lionesses, this wildebeest was more than able to stand its ground. After one lioness tried to bite its neck, the stubborn wildebeest stabbed it with its horn and hooked its leg. The intense battle lasted over 2 minutes, with the lions initially having the upper hand. However, it ended up with the lionesses running for their lives, trying to escape the angry beast. Not only did the wildebeest survive, but it also left one lioness with a severe wound that might have killed it later on. And despite the lions working together, the wildebeest was able to teach them a lesson that they will never forget. Take a look at how this wildebeest was throwing the lioness around like a rag. The lioness was pretty hungry and pretty determined to take the creature down, but as soon as it came close to it, the wildebeest almost killed it with its non-stop attacks. A foolish lioness almost lost its life after thinking that it had cornered an antelope here. The antelope wasn't looking forward to fighting the lioness, of course, but once it was forced to fight, it made the big cat regret its decision to challenge it very quickly. Furiously charging at the feline, the antelope pointed its huge horns at the predator and tried to stab it, and if the lioness hadn't moved when it did, it would probably be dead by now. Instead of getting on top of the zebra and sinking its huge fangs into its flesh to devour it, this lioness had the opposite happen to her, and it was nothing short of humiliating. During its fight against the zebra, the big cat's prey was somehow able to get on top of it and pin it down, and it then started biting the lioness as hard as it could. Lifting the lioness high into the air with a powerful kick, this stubborn zebra ended the big cat's hopes of having something to eat that night. The lioness wasn't an inexperienced one. It knew exactly what it was doing, and it had planned its attack and timed it perfectly, but the quick reflexes of the zebra ruined all of its plans. The way the lioness jumped to attack the zebra made it look like the striped beast wasn't going to survive, but the perfectly timed kick ended up working flawlessly with the jump, hitting the poor lioness just as it was coming down, making the kick all the more devastating. Securing a meal can be a very difficult thing to do in the wild, but keeping the kill after you get one can be an arguably much harder thing to achieve. This is a clear example of that. As you can see, this lioness was about to start eating when it found itself surrounded by an entire army of hyenas, and once the hyenas launched their attack, the poor lioness could do nothing but run away from the bloodthirsty beasts. The hyenas would have torn her apart if she had stayed, and running away was the only smart thing to do in her case. This lioness was forced to endure all kinds of humiliation at the hands of a clan of hyenas after its pride abandoned it. The lioness was getting too old and too weak, and the pride members decided that she wasn't going to be of much use to them, and so they left her to face her fate alone. Soon enough, a group of hyenas spotted the lone big cat, and as usual, they ganged up on it and started biting its tail and trying to annoy it after they made sure that it couldn't fight. The savage hyenas were probably going to kill it in the end, and the poor feline was too weak to do anything about it. Without any hesitation, this wild boar charged at a lioness that approached it and tried to headbutt it. The wild boar wasn't even a fully grown one, but it was able to intimidate the lioness and force it to move back very easily. The lioness did not want to get rammed into by the hostile boar, as it knew how powerful and devastating their attacks can be. Fighting against multiple opponents is never an easy thing to do, which is why this lioness decided to do the smart thing in such a situation. Grab one of the attackers and hurt them badly enough to make the rest of them not want to attack. Seemed like the perfect plan. The only problem was that the lioness couldn't even defeat a single one of the wild dogs, and even before the rest of the clan jumped in to help, the lioness failed to overpower the canine that it picked, which emboldened the wild dogs to attack even more violently. Instant regret was what this lioness felt after attacking a baboon that wasn't willing to back down. The lioness didn't even think twice about its decision to attack, and it rushed towards the baboon. Lunging at it as soon as it caught a glimpse of it, expecting to win the battle without any trouble and return to the pride with its hefty meal, the lioness was taken aback when the baboon eagerly fought back. The stubborn creature immediately tried to attack the predator, and it chased after the lioness when it tried to move back. Surely, the arrogant lioness must have learned something from this encounter, and will think twice the next time it goes on a hunt, especially if baboons are involved. Did you enjoy this video? Please let us know in the comments section down below. And don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. And please, turn on your notifications bell to get notified when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.